Welcome to Warp Zone 9, Warpcast number 3. Got Joe.
Hi.
Dalton.
What's up?
And Denton. How you guys doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Pretty
How
good.
you kids doing today?
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
It's been a few weeks since we got together, so there's been a lot that's happened.
Mm-hmm. Such happenings.
Such happenings.
Such news.
Would you care to tell me about the Nintendo
Yeah.
happenings?
You want to get right to it?
Yeah, sure.
So, we missed a few weeks of releases, but we'll just talk about what happened, what came out on Thursday. So, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D came out.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, I know
Awesome,
you're a big
awesome.
fan of Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever, planning to jump into Majora's Mask. I know you haven't played that.
I can't really say I will. I'm not the biggest fan of Majora's Mask. I would say that I kind of enjoy watching it. It's one of those games I kind of like watching. But there's just a lot of stuff going on. It's like, you can almost relate it to a puzzle game almost.
So you
kind of doing this order, and I suck at puzzle games.
So, you did say that you wanted to do like a playthrough of a game.
Yeah,
You
maybe.
can play the 64 version.
I could. First, I got to get a 64 that works. That's step one. That works. That's
Also-
the key.
Another game that came out, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
Yeah.
Monsters getting lonely.
How's that?
Monsters for
Monster
Hunters.
for Hunter.
It's pretty good. I picked it up a day ago, and don't have a whole lot of hours in it yet. Seems pretty good though. I'm playing on a regular 3DS XL. Runs quite fine. Yeah. I don't have a C stick. I'm hurting in that department. It's pretty good though.
Do you want to borrow my Circle Pad Pro?
I didn't know you had one.
I do.
We might have to talk about this
Yeah.
after the podcast.
I have one for the XL. I imported it from Japan.
We're gonna have to talk.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good though.
Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy Plus. It's one of the first games outside of Smash Bros. To use the amiibo on the 3DS.
The amiibo support.
Yeah, I almost wanted it just because of that reason. But
Yeah, I remember seeing a copy of that on the back of the box. They have a picture of like a Bowser jet. That looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Awesome.
That's kind of worth. I mean, if you have the game, you like
yeah.
flying
Special.
sims.
Does that take the Bowser amiibo to get that?
I'm assuming
Yeah.
they'll take the
Cool.
It's actually the Link amiibo. It's
You never would have guessed. Cheat codes, man.
cheat codes.
Crazy.
It gets crazy.
On the 3DS eShop, we got 3D Fantasy Zone. I believe that's a Sega Master System game.
Okay.
Black.
Black.
Yep.
Black.
That's the name of the game. Black on 3DS eShop.
Sounds distasteful.
Then on the Wii U Virtual Console, Breath of Fire,
Breath of Fire.
classic Super Nintendo RPG. So, have you guys heard about the YouTube Creators Program that's been unrolled by Nintendo?
I did hear about it. I haven't read about it recently.
Would you care to inform me on this?
So this is a big controversy that happened probably around a year ago. I don't know how long it's been, maybe 2 years. Time flies. But Nintendo started this thing where if people uploaded YouTube videos that contained their copyrighted content, like footage or even just audio, they would flag that video, and as soon as the video is flagged, you can no longer make your own ad revenue off of it. Any revenue that was made would go straight to Nintendo, 100%.
Yeah, that's strict.
Lots of controversy because I'm sure there's lots of people that like us that would like to do YouTube content on Nintendo because I love Nintendo.
That's true.
But you can't make money off of it, you guys. It becomes a love thing. So they've this applies only to their first party games, like their games, not like third party games by EA or whatever.
Gotcha.
But they've unrolled this program where if you become like a Nintendo partner, a YouTube partner, if your whole channel is nothing but first party Nintendo games, the revenue gets split 70% to the creator of the video and 30% to Nintendo.
It's pretty generous for Nintendo.
Right. I heard some people having still a fit about that. Like they're like, I want all my revenue. But it's like you went from nothing to 70%.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So your channel has to literally be that. So then
Yeah,
if I'm like,
strict
I want to
and-
make a cell damage playthrough, bros.
Then you become ineligible. Then
Okay.
Then
So
you can't get that split.
So you want to have 2 channels.
So if
Well,
If you want to do something
They do
like that.
have another option for you. So if you have, if you have nothing but Nintendo videos, you can flag your whole channel as eligible for this option. If you have individual videos that are Nintendo on your channel, you can flag individual videos for the program. In that case, the revenue split is 60% to the video creator, 40% to Nintendo.
That may actually just be the easier option.
still better than nothing.
Way better. 20% is generous for what they're doing. So.
So, I mean, obviously,
pretty awesome.
Nintendo's well within the right to do this, and if people don't want to do it, then they can just not play Nintendo games, I guess. They can just play something else.
Right.
Which, sucks, but...
Right. See, I'm still confused, though, why people are still so upset about this. that before they'd be making absolutely nothing whatsoever, and they roll out this new plan that you're getting a 70-30 cut or a 60-40 cut, and you're still getting a cut of your ad revenue then. But why would you still be upset about that?
It's not like ad revenue's that high anyway. I mean, it's good. It's good enough. Like if you get a lot of views, but it's not gonna be like, oh man, it's not just like
and of course, you know, the most subscribed to person on YouTube, PewDiePie, did make a comment saying how his personally feels it's stupid.
Does he play a lot of first-party Nintendo games?
I don't know. I know this that
I can't see the first.
it's not first party, but I did see he had a Conquer video that I saw.
Okay,
But other than that, I have no
I
idea.
thought he was always more of a PC guy.
Yeah, PC. Yeah.
He seems to be doing a lot of
indie
Oculus
games and
indie. Well, he was a horror guy, right?
yeah,
Okay,
mostly horror.
not the biggest on PewDiePie.
Also, since our last recording, Nintendo pushed out their last wave of rewards on Club Nintendo.
There you go.
Get them coins. Thank you for supplying the coins, by the way.
Oh.
I know you.
Gotta supply the coins.
I tried to see if you're going to use those codes last time for yourself.
Right, and I was like, I got codes. I'm just sitting on them.
So,
Got codes on codes, girl.
as far as the physical stuff that they put out on the website, got a Majora's Mask sling bag on there.
Ooh.
I believe that's 800 coins.
Those fake internet points.
There's a Majora's Mask jigsaw puzzle. A retro Mario T-shirt. It's like, I think it's gray and has an 8-bit Mario like on the side.
Okay. Is that gonna be an exclusive?
This is as far as I know, you can't find it anywhere else.
That's pretty
Are
cool.
you gonna get it?
Well, I don't have the coins to. I'd like to. I have gotten a
Get
few.
those coins.
I have gotten some of these stuff, but the shirt was like, since I own so many Nintendo shirts in general, I felt that the other stuff was more.
I saw you can get Mario Party 2 for actually a pretty cheap amount of coins.
Yep.
And that's pretty sweet. Just has a straight up download just to have. Like, sweet. Like, Mario Party 2 is awesome. That's a huge throwback. Like compared to, like, there's a lot of other games, like, you can get on there just, like, you know, like the older games, whatever, which is cool to dink around with sometimes. But, like, Mario Party 2 and the old Mario Parties, you actually get a lot of, like, legit gameplay out of that. Have some friends over. That's actually pretty cool that they're offering that.
They had a big push for digital games. One of the games I talked about in the last episode was Doc Lewis's Punch-Out. The one you could only get as a platinum reward several years ago. Now you can just get it for 400 coins.
Oof.
So I got it. So now I have it. So I got the Mario hat.
It's a lot of coins, isn't
And
it?
I got...
Doc Lewis's Punch-Out?
And it might be 200. I can't remember. It might have been
400's a lot. I think Mario Party 2 is like 150
yeah,
or
400 is a lot. So other physical items, there's a set of Animal Crossing playing cards. You get a set of blue backs and one with pink backs.
It's a game I haven't played in a while, Animal Crossing.
Another 3-set Smash Brothers poster. 2016 desktop calendar. So you're preparing it for the next year because obviously we're already 3 months into 2015. And then there's like a drawstring Zelda pouch for your XL.
Very cool. Cool physical reward items.
Yeah, and of course there's lots of digital games, Wii U games, like full on like retail games you can get digitally on there.
Right.
Like Game Boy games, NES games,
Right.
Super Nintendo games.
Truthfully though, wouldn't you be kind of silly to spend those on digital stuff that you can get for actual cash?
Yeah, I know.
If
I
the
want
physical
to
stuff is
exactly. I'm
exclusive.
kind of pushing for the stuff you can only get on Club Nintendo because I can
Right,
spend
yeah.
real money on to get the other stuff.
That's something like a collector like you would want to do for people
Definitely.
that aren't really big and they don't really care, like free games.
Right.
But other than that, if you're really into the whole Nintendo thing,
Right.
the limited time stuff, pretty cool.
Especially when you can get a shirt.
Yeah, I'd love
you
to
never
have
get a
the 8-bit
shirt.
Mario shirt.
Like
Yeah.
clothing for something that's like a reward is always good. I mean, clothing is nice.
Especially if it's limited edition.
Especially if
That's
it's limited edition.
And this shirt right here actually
Is-
is a Club Nintendo shirt.
Is
This
awesome.
was probably like I don't know, a year ago.
That's a pretty cool shirt, too.
It says Club Nintendo on the back.
That's pretty cool,
So you know it's
actually.
Club Nintendo.
Got cred.
Okay.
So I do have,
Red
I have
Bro.
like, I think I have two. There's another like Mario where it has like all the 8-bit sprites all over the front of it.
That's really cool. They At least they make their, as they have been doing, they make their physical stuff very special. You know, it's not just like, well, let's just give the people this. It's always like they put some time into it.
So, and time is of the essence. You only have until March 31st to get all your coins loaded on there to redeem.
Spend your coins.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that like nothing's really sold out yet. And it's already been like 3 weeks since all this stuff came up. The only thing I saw came out was they did have a poster set that was a platinum reward a few years ago. That's gone now. It's like a 2-poster set, 8-bit Luigi and something else.
Wow.
I wonder what'll happen. Like, I assume they've already pre-made everything that's material. Like,
well,
if everything doesn't get bought by coins, they just throw it away.
I think I'm willing to bet they haven't made anything yet because it doesn't say it. I ordered a few things, and I think it doesn't ship until like the spring.
Oh, so maybe it's
so they're seeing how many.
maybe
they're
it's made to order.
Yeah, that's why I'm willing to bet.
Okay,
It's pretty cool.
So, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Nintendo was planning on getting into the kind of health craze industry, like the smartwatches and like you know, yeah.
I actually didn't hear that.
Yeah, they're calling it their QOL or Quality of Life program.
Cool.
So Iwata commented on saying that their business is not necessarily has to be particularly about game hardware. They want to leverage their video game know-how, and so we'll make it so even those who have trouble following through can stick with the program and have fun, like as far as exercising goes.
They're gonna incorporate in with the Pokemon things.
You know, they have lots of franchises and stuff to kind of make it fun. To, you know, whatever it is, even if it's something small, like, because they do want to make this thing that tracks your quality of sleep too.
Oh, cool.
So if they could tie that into like a game or something, you know,
Health,
game-like
the
thing.
big health thing has gotten really big with like the Fitbits getting huge, Garmin getting into it, and then like the Samsung Gear Fits and stuff like that. Like it's a really big part of the industry, so it's smart they're getting into that, especially with the new Apple and Samsung phones getting so big into the health thing. It was never a big deal until like a year ago, and all of a sudden all this stuff is huge.
They
so
see
it's smart Nintendo.
They
jump
see
on
the market. Like they see this.
Yeah,
This is
it's definitely exploded. Smartwatches kind of came up before. It's like, hey, you can do your phone stuff, and then fitness stuff just jumped right onto that technology. Like,
and obviously they have dabbled in this before with Wii Fit. Like, it's not
they have.
completely-
They have. Nintendo doesn't want you to be unhealthy.
And they're stressing, like when they first announced this, they want to stress. They're trying to stress that what they're trying to make is non-wearable, so it's something you're going to wear.
It's
So it's
injectable.
gonna be
I wonder
something.
if they can like have it sync with your 3DS or something, because you kind of
I'm sure they
bring
will.
them with anyway.
They know you're carrying it around.
I know you do.
Yeah, I definitely do. And then I guess they're also thinking about getting into the education field, like probably something like Brain Age.
Mario teaches Spanish.
Hopefully not.
Hola.
And Nintendo had
Soy Mario.
There was the Mario Teaches games on the Super Nintendo, like
There
Mario
was.
Teaches Typing and Mario.
Super old school Mario teaching you stuff.
You guys Netflix subscribers?
Sure am.
Yep.
Do you guys watch any Netflix original series that are like that they?
Orange is the
Funded.
New Black is the biggest one that I've
I've seen
watched.
that one. I've seen a
It's the only
couple
one I know.
episodes of House of Cards.
I never got into that. I've heard it's awesome.
I heard that's pretty good.
I've only seen a couple episodes. Definitely haven't seen enough to give a recommendation on it.
Got kind of addicted to Orange is the New Black though.
Oh, that's a good one.
great show.
Their originals are actually, for Netflix, they have really good
Yeah.
original content. A lot of stuff's
Yeah.
blowing up.
Most people I hear say that Netflix is mostly doing some pretty good stuff. I think they had one person mentioned they did something that was kind of questionable, like they sunk a lot of money into it as a flop. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sorry,
nothing.
but there's a rumor going around from some inside source that went unnamed, but it came from a legit website. That Netflix is in talks with Nintendo to make a Legend of Zelda live-action television
Heard about
or
that.
Netflix series.
I've been talking about that. That's definitely something I could get in on. Very much enjoy watching.
I wonder how that would be.
Was that supposed to be based off of the comic?
I mean, there has been Zelda manga, but I don't think it's going to be based on
Right. I'm trying to remember now.
They say it's being described as Game of Thrones for a family audience.
I'm in.
With less sex and murder.
Less sex, probably not so much blood. I'm sure there might be some cuts and stuff, but hopefully there's some kind of swordplay because it's kind of what
Just
Zelda's
laying with a
about.
Deku stick the whole time.
Yeah.
Ah.
At least if he's at least slicing monsters, that would be good enough for me. He doesn't have to be slicing people.
Link doesn't exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't fight a whole lot of humanoid.
Not a whole lot of humans. Often.
Yeah. The only thing that comes to mind is in Ocarina of Time. Near the end of the game, you're going to the Gerudo Desert, and you're like bone arrowing the ladies to knock them out, but you're not
you just
killing
knock them
You
out.
just knock them out.
Yeah. Which kudos to them because that would really hurt.
So
So get right back up.
Currently, Netflix is said to be working closely with Nintendo. They're still seeking a writer on the series, supposedly. Assuming this is all real.
Could be
Right.
This is all rumor, nothing confirmed.
Right.
When approached for confirmation, Netflix and Nintendo declined to comment on it.
Interesting.
It's always a good indicator though when they say yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, they didn't say no. They didn't
Exactly.
Say no. Yeah.
That means something.
It's always interesting though how they have to keep this kind of stuff under wraps. You think they should be
Nintendo's
like, hey,
good
we're
about
talking,
that.
we're talking about making a Legend of Zelda live action show. How cool is that? It's always like, yeah, we're gonna just kind of, no, maybe, It's always got to like be a surprise with these kind of things. It's like I don't know.
Someone's got to go undercover like that. Was it that E3 video you showed me? going undercover to find out what's going to be released. You showed me that a while
Yeah,
back.
yeah, probably.
Sneaking in, pretending to be, was it Reggie?
Might have been. Yeah,
I think it's what it was.
yeah. It was where they were. Yeah, it was like a robot Reggie.
Yeah,
Is that the
it was
one?
a robot
Yeah,
Reggie.
yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Sneaking in the Nintendo office.
So, you guys are familiar with the website called Unseen64? It's like a website. It's not. They're not dedicated to Nintendo, but they do a lot of Nintendo stuff. They somehow get information on either information on what games were like during development, and they had this drastic change, or they get information somehow from inside sources about games that were canceled. They were never announced. Like they were just like they might have gotten started working on, and then they just got canceled before they even saw the light of day.
Oh, really?
The latest leak that they apparently got is that there's a developer working on a 2.5D side-scrolling Metroid game for the 3DS. It was apparently being developed by, quote, a pretty popular Western developer. So it's being developed here in the West by some unknown company.
Interesting.
But a pretty popular one.
Yeah.
Pretty popular. Scientific words for it.
Apparently there was a 30-second prototype video showing the game. Showed Samus running through corridors and finally running to a boss fight. The boss looked similar to the enemy Kraid from the Metroid series.
Now, when you say side-scrolling, you said side-scrolling, correct?
Yeah.
2.5.
Are we talking about like the old school side-scrolling, or what exactly?
Yeah, it sounds like it was like left and right, but the visuals had like a 3D flare where it had some depth. Like it might have been polygonal, but
cool.
it was still only left and right.
Okay.
That'd be my guess.
Interesting.
The art style that the developer took was apparently Samus was depicted in more of a thin, and she looked more thin and athletic, not so like bulky and kind of like robotic like.
Older armors are pretty bulky.
Yeah.
Very suit.
Apparently, the developer took this demo that they had and pitched it to Nintendo to try and get a full release out of it, and Nintendo was not interested in moving forward. This was sometime after Metroid Other M was released on the Wii, which was released to very critical reviews, kind of panned.
The baby.
I want to go on record saying that I love Metroid Other M. I think it's a
Posters
fantastic
right there.
game. Yes,
There's a poster on the wall.
I mean, regardless of how you feel about the game, the art. I felt the art style in that game was fantastic. Maybe it's because I'm an anime fan.
I myself have never played Metroid Other M. I've also, might not have said it on podcast before, but I've played through Metroid Prime, and I've never played the sequels to that, and I've never played Other M, but even just from the cover arts from the game, you can tell Other M was definitely going in a slightly different direction.
Yeah,
Looks kind of anime.
and the game was directed by like the main Metroid guy, like since the beginning, from the NES days.
Wow.
So this was his vision, and people are still butthurt about it. It's like it's not your game. If you don't like it, it's not your call.
That's true,
You're
too.
free to walk away, which I'm sure that a lot of people did. But I don't think it's fair to criticize someone else's vision.
Salt.
Yeah, and in the game, when you beat it, there's an option to watch the movie, or watch the game like it were a movie. Like it just kind of seamlessly.
Cinematics.
Yeah, cinematics, and it shows you some gameplay between the cinematics, kind of showing you how all the scenes are connected.
Cool. That's kind of
So,
cool.
a lot of people hate on the game because of the story. I thought it was pretty good. That's my opinion. Anyway, moving on. Another rumor, coming again from Unseen64. Apparently, sometime. When did the first Harry Potter movie come out? Was that like 2001? When the first one?
I was young.
Yeah, I was like in the freshman in high school. I want to say that was like around 2001,
When did you graduate?
2004.
Yeah.
I remember that's like when I remember people were watching it, the first one. Anyway,
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
sometime before the first movie, before it was even like in production or even like an idea, and there was basically like a chance for a company to buy the rights to the franchise outside of the books, like merchandising, whatever they want to do with it, whether it be memorabilia or games or movies. Nintendo apparently was interested in purchasing the rights, which they would have full control over like the franchise outside of the books.
Interesting.
Back in 01, that was.
Reports that, according to reports, if the purchase had gone through, Nintendo would have had complete control over licensing, thus preventing any other forms of media, including films of the franchise, from being produced without their consent.
I'm assuming that would have also stopped some of the quote questionable games that came out.
From
Harry
EA.
Potter?
Those were from EA. I haven't played any of them, so I can't.
Oh
Those
god,
games were
I
a
played the
little
Lego games.
questionable.
I played the Lego games.
can't go wrong with Lego.
Apparently-
Those are
I
always
played the
fun.
Lego ones.
So apparently, the time of the
Not for that
acquisition.
series.
Movie games.
Apparently, this was around 1998. At which point, Nintendo executive visited NST, which stands for Nintendo Software Technology. That is this game studio that Nintendo owns. Like I think it's inside of Nintendo of America, as far as I'm aware. And they tasked them with developing a prototype for a Harry Potter game based on the books. One of the prototypes was based off of Quidditch. There were supposedly disputes on the art style with this demo. The studio was going for like a more manga-inspired look, but the Harry Potter creator J.K. Rowling wanted more of a British inspiration from the series.
That makes sense too, though.
Quidditch will always be better than Blitzball. Can't stand
I know there was a Harry Potter game based on just the Quidditch thing.
I
Like,
owned
during
it.
The you owned it?
Was it
I
called?
owned it.
Was it okay? So was it fun to play?
I want to say it was Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup. I want to say it was
That
called.
sounds right. That sounds familiar.
I remember I saw it in a old Nintendo holiday guide kind of booklet, like a bunch of games that were out. Would be great gifts for the holidays.
So did you own it for GameCube or?
I own it for GameCube.
Okay.
It's still floating around somewhere. Could probably track that down.
Nice.
It wasn't terrible. Definitely wasn't terrible. It definitely was simplistic in a way, but it was fun.
Do you feel like it was a game that they like legitimately like sat down and made, or was it just like, hey, remember that one Quidditch level from those the games we made? Let's just make it into a game.
There was definitely stuff going on with it, but it was
Was it worth like a full release? Like, was it worth the money to spend on those games based on just the Quidditch?
maybe not.
Borderline, huh?
I remember though you do see a lot more teams. Obviously, it's not just the school; it's actual teams. It was kind of neat at the time.
Do you visit like other schools? I don't even know anything.
It's
about
actually
it.
like grown-ups playing Quidditch, so it's not just like kids. It's actually like professional Quidditch
Is Harry
teams.
Potter in it?
I want to say yes, but it's been
Is
a
it
while.
hard to catch the snitch?
Looks like it would be hard if it was real, like in the way they depicted it in the
Right.
movies. This thing's
In the
just
game,
fun.
I want to say it was kind of a pain to catch the snitch.
It should be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because you win. So.
That snitch.
Have you guys ever played Banjo Kazooie?
I feel like I may have played it like once, but nothing I can remember. It was a while ago.
I've played Nuts and Bolts.
Okay.
Avoid Nuts and Bolts.
Avoid. Okay. So, that's another game that's there are it's kind of hated by Banjo Kazooie fans.
Yeah.
But the people that maybe aren't so hardcore on Banjo Kazooie, there's lots of people that love that game.
Yeah, I knew what Banjo and Kazooie was supposed to be. Oh, I have played it back on the 64. I remember playing Banjo Kazooie back on the 64. And that was really fun. It reminded me of, with its platforming and its adventuring, very, very fun. Nuts and Bolts it's like a car building game, so it's not even Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah, I read that this started out as as a regular Banjo game, but the levels they were making just got so massive that they're like, okay, these levels are too big to walk around on foot. We need to figure out a way to get around quicker. And that's where the vehicles came in, and then I guess it just kind of snowballed from there, and it became this thing. I think Minecraft might have played a role into it, the whole building thing.
I remember it had really kind of like in-depth vehicle building though. Like it wasn't terrible if like you want to build weird, crazy vehicles. But it reminds me of the gummy ship levels in Kingdom Hearts, which I mean, there's a market for people that love building those gummy ships, I guess. But I was just trying to fly through those levels as quickly as possible.
My brother, who hasn't played Banjo Kazooie or Banjo Tooie, loved Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Is it one of those things like if you haven't played Banjo Kazooie, you like Nuts and Bolts, and if you have, you're like,
It's probably
Yeah.
I don't know.
probably feels like betraying.
If you have like kind of like Lego mentality, kind of like Minecraft, or you just love to build things, it's probably right up your alley.
It'd be probably if it was like Pokemon Nuts and Bolts. It's like you're not actually playing Pokemon, you're playing let's build cars. You'd probably feel a little bit betrayed, I guess.
Yeah, I hear you there.
I could feel that. Like, oh,
Know
it's
what you're stepping in.
a Pokemon game. All right.
You get there, you're building cars.
Please no Pokemon Nuts and Bolts.
Not to get too off track, the reason I bring up Banjo Kazooie is because the people who used to develop the Banjo Kazooie games, who are no longer at Rare,
Rest in peace.
started their own developing studio, Platonic Games. Excuse me, Platonic. It was formed by 6 veterans from Rare. They're working on a project right now. It's just going by Project Ukulele. So I guess you got banjo, and then you got they're calling it ukulele.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
It's supposed to be a quote worthy spiritual successor end quote to the Banjo-Kazooie franchise.
Banjo-Kazooie could use a good game.
So it's not a Banjo-Kazooie game.
Even if it's a spiritual successor, it'd be like
So far, they've only released a teaser image. It's like the image shows shrubbery with 2 sets of eyes poking out. All you can see is the eyes. So it's there's some kind of 2 creatures, 2 animals, but we don't know what they are yet. Funding for the game has been secured, but Playtonic is still interested in working with a publisher to publish the game for them. But they don't have a publisher yet, so they're just kind of going on their own right now.
Curious.
Yeah. I don't know, it sounds fantastic. I loved Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. If I can get another game like those.
Yeah.
Even if it's not Banjo, I'm fine with that.
You found
That most likely could be like a Wii U release.
Yeah, and they just announced that they got a bunch of composers from who used to work at Rare. So people did the music for Banjo-Kazooie. They got
cool.
He's on board.
They'll probably feel like a really good game then. Yeah.
Sweet. Probably pretty close to what the old ones were.
Absolutely.
Or same feel.
So, got the new Nintendo 3DS. This guy's out now.
Yep.
With it, we know for sure it's getting one exclusive game, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. It was originally a Wii game coming to the new Nintendo 3DS. You can only play it on the new Nintendo 3DS thanks to the processor. Another rumor coming out. This is a very far-fetched rumor. This is like one of those rumors that like you're on the playground and your best friend says his third uncle works at Nintendo and he's got inside information.
Did you hear that?
This I did not hear from my best friend, but it apparently comes from several GameStop employees. So I don't know how much reputation this has.
Can't get any more reputable than that.
But the rumor is that Twilight Princess, originally a GameCube game, / Wii game, is coming to the new Nintendo 3DS exclusively. Apparently, this comes from multiple GameStop employees, so that's what that makes it a little bit reputable.
Right, but how?
And their sources, according to them, is coming from Nintendo of America representatives. Which, again, I would believe some information that a Nintendo of America representative would have, but still, they're not. They're just retail representatives.
There's retail. Yeah,
their knowledge only goes so deep.
Like, I want to say, not smashing on any GameStop employees, obviously. But yeah, that's obviously just one that sounds wonderful, and I hope it is. I mean, I don't want to get my hopes up, but love that game.
Yeah. So we just got the remake of Majora's Mask 3D. This would be the next remake in the Zelda series for the 3DS.
Really going and reworking those old ones.
I was gonna say, don't you think
right along the line
they're probably seeing here at Nintendo re-releasing these Legend of Zelda games? Like the market is just like, yes, Zelda, give me all these.
I know, like
Zelda
when
games.
I go on Twitch, every now and then when I'm not watching a normal couple games, I'm watching, scrolling down, all of a sudden Zelda Ocarina of Time, 2,000 viewers, like speedruns and stuff.
Right.
Like, it's still an active community, man. And that's an N64 original. Like, that's a long time ago I came out, and it's still an active, still an active community. Like, people are still doing speedruns and stuff. Like, the community wants this stuff. It's when you go on Twitch and you look at an N64 game that consistently has thousands of viewers.
That's impressive.
That means you got to remaster some stuff, man.
Yeah.
So good idea.
And to be fair, like Majora's Mask that came out in the year 2000. Just because it's a remake, there's a whole generation of people who were too young to play it or weren't even born yet. Now that it's there again, it's
to
them.
That did play it.
Yeah,
nostalgia,
exactly.
Man.
To them, it's a new game, and plus there's people like me that just
original.
need another excuse to go back and visit again. And it did change, some things in the game. Like I'm playing it again, and it's like I don't remember this way. I feel like they move things around and
that's cool too.
Remix a little bit.
So then, even if you love the original, you're like, I want to play it again. At least they kind of mixed it up so it's not like you're playing the exact same game. They kind of rehashed it, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Some new playtime.
So the 3DS has been around for quite a while now. It originally came out in 2011, and now piracy is starting to creep in.
Piracy.
Apparently, Majora's Mask was leaked on the internet before its release. It was floating around the internet. It was news to me. I didn't know that they had figured out a way to play ROMs on it yet, or whatever you want to call it, ISOs.
Whatever they're calling it.
But Nintendo got wind of this, and they quickly tried to put a stop to it. So they see anybody... Apparently, they have technology. Nintendo has technology. If they see somebody playing a pirated game, they block their 3DS from connecting to the internet. Just cuts them off. They get that identification. That's like that particular system's ID number or whatever, and they're like, you're done. cut you off.
That's not worth it. Just spend the $40, people. Just spend the $40. Buy the legitimate game.
So it blocks online play. You can't access your friends list. You can't use apps like Netflix and Hulu on the 3DS. The one thing you can still do is you can still access the eShop to legitimately purchase games. But those games you purchase, you cannot play online.
So they still give you the chance to buy games.
You can still buy games through us, but you're not playing online.
Yep, and this seems to be a permanent ban. People that have been affected have called Nintendo, and they're like, no, you're
done. Buy my
awesome.
game, losers. Yeah. That's what developers and that's what people need to be doing too. If with your pirating games, if you have a way to find people that are pirating them, you got to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Nintendo don't play with that stuff. They're on top of that stuff. Most companies would just be like whatever. It's not that big of a deal. There's not that many people doing it. Nintendo, they don't play.
Yeah. And I know game piracy is really really big nowadays. It's probably for a whole nother podcast. Probably could talk about that in a whole chunk. Maybe not on a Nintendo podcast, but that's a big thing nowadays too, which is unfortunate with gamers and such.
So
I have that, man.
The main producer on the Zelda series, Eiji Aonuma, his first game that he helmed himself was Majora's Mask. Right. He was he worked on Ocarina of Time before that, but he wasn't the main producer. So going back to work on Majora's Mask, something he worked on, a long time ago. To put as bluntly as he possibly could, he said, remakes kind of hurt. You're looking at all the decisions you were making. Sometimes you're saying to yourself, I can't believe I was thinking about it like that, or why did I think it was okay to make the user do this in this situation? He's looking at his old work, that was a poor decision to develop it this way or that way.
Worked out.
Yeah, but Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Legend of Zelda, said this is something that he made a point to say that you need to look back on and learn from your old work so that you kind of get a perspective on making your new work even better.
That makes sense.
Apparently at one point there was a Skull Kid amiibo considered for Majora's Mask.
Okay.
Eiji Aonuma says, we really did want to do amiibo like with Skull Kid that would work with Majora's Mask, but one of the things that was really difficult was because it was a remake of the game. We didn't have the opportunity to build the kind of gameplay that would connect to using an amiibo in this way. Ultimately, and unfortunately, we had to back off the idea. But looking forward, I really want to do something like that on a new title, so hope you're going to look forward to that.
That would be cool. Speaking of Majora's Mask in general, look how good this looks. I just can't get over. It's such a good-looking image. It's just so. Man, they just did such a good job on this, man.
Right. It also probably explains why the internet is up in arms about this system that they may never be able to own.
Unquote.
The number of articles I have skimmed across that's just you're never going to get this system. Don't even try. You're never going to get it. It's quite a lot, actually.
It's kind of sad, though, when you go on eBay and you see that how many do exist that are being resold when they could have just gone straight to the original people that actually wanted it.
Yeah, the prices on those ones, too, are pretty high.
Yeah.
Scratching that $500 ceiling.
Unfortunately, Nintendo's become kind of like a gold mine to people who resell stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happened a little bit.
I don't really see that much that often with anything on other PlayStation or Xbox.
In a perfect world, all the units that were sold would just go straight to the people that got them. They'd all just be joyful that they got them.
Right.
But people are kind of abusing that,
right? Which
kind of sucks. Yeah. But that's capitalism, boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, free market. Speaking of Amiibo, so Rosalina came out 2 weeks ago at Target stores.
Right.
Quickly sold out. No, it looks like we're not going to see a restocking of that particular version of Rosalina, but Mario Party 10 is on its way March 20th, and on Nintendo's, I think it was a Japanese site, it showed imagery, screenshots from the game showing a new Rosalina amiibo, a new Wario amiibo, and a new Donkey Kong amiibo, different from their Smash Bros. Amiibo. So we already knew about the new Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Bowser coming out, but we didn't know about that Rosalina was going to get a Mario Party 10 amiibo. So it looks like, while it's not the same Rosalina, people might have another chance to get a Rosalina amiibo that will still work on Smash Brothers, and
because the chips are the same inside the amiibo, just a different statuette itself.
Exactly.
Collectors everywhere just going, where's my credit card?
Yeah, exactly. Nintendo's knows. Yeah. Speaking of Mario Party 10, that game, along with Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, is soon going to get amiibo support with an update as soon as we get that Toad amiibo. Nintendo of Europe on their website has a listing saying that Mario Party 10 and Captain Toad will be compatible with all the amiibo.
Oh, wow.
Nothing specific to each amiibo, but just by scanning them in, you get a little something.
That's cool.
In Mario Party 10, you get, quote, Mario Party points and a chance to play a scratch bonus.
Teaching those kids.
And then if you scan amiibo into Captain Toad, you get 1-ups. When you scan an amiibo, you get a 1-up.
That's awesome.
Or, yeah.
It's like, I need an extra man.
Beep.
Alright, last story I have. Nintendo's looking to integrate Mii characters into social media via smartphones. So Nintendo, it has no interest in getting into the smartphone market in terms of game software. Reason being, while they are also a hardware company, they want people to buy their hardware, play their software on their hardware.
Not just like, hey, I got this Mario app.
Yeah, and also they're also afraid of like
Although
the pricing market that's currently existing on smartphones. Like people will either, if it's like more than $1, forget it. I'm not buying it. It's too expensive.
It has to be free with
microtransactions.
microtransactions. I was say micromanagement, but it's like, that's not right.
I pay for dollar apps much more. I'm like,
Yeah, I've bought an app here and there that are $1. I have purchased a few games that are like, up in the $10 range before if they're good.
If it's a good game, a game is a game.
I bought one of the Final Fantasies. For life of me, I can't remember what number it was. It was one of the earlier ones, but that was like $8. I think that's the most I've ever spent on an app. I don't regret it.
Yeah.
I never beat it, but I don't regret
I'm usually hesitant to buy games on smartphones though because I'd rather play a game on something like this.
On like hardware.
Yeah, I'd rather pay the $30 and get like this kind of experience.
I don't have a console to play that specific game. I've never played it before. I'd played some of the older Final Fantasies, but I mean, it's pretty sweet in between classes.
Especially on an iPhone. Final Fantasy probably works perfect on a phone because you don't have to worry about like Twitch kind of response.
Turn-based games would work great.
So Iwata is still weary of the smartphone market due to consumer expectations and cost, and he wants to leverage smartphones to sway consumers to their own hardware. So apparently there's going to be some kind of app that will integrate your Mii into social media, somehow on Facebook, maybe Twitter, something like that. And then these apps, they want to help kind of bring people over to their hardware. Like, hey, we got this stuff going on over here. It's kind of fun.
That makes sense, I guess.
I'm glad to see that they're expanding on the Mii thing. Because like when Wii's originally came out, like, what do you want your Mii to look like? I'm like, I don't care. Like, it's not gonna matter. It's just like who my profile.
You thought it was just
guy
a throwaway guy, like
right? Just some kind of throwaway dude, whatever. And then it's cool that they're actually like doing stuff with it and now, like incorporating it to like maybe Facebook and stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and some people already do that. They somehow get a snapshot of their Mii and upload it as a user profile. Some people like to do that.
Yeah, it's cool to see him expand on it.
Yeah, so I wanted to give some do you have anything you want to talk about before I...
The one thing that I wanted to talk about, I just wanted, just as a fun fact, the Amiibo overall sales rankings from GoNintendo.com, posted by Raw Meat Cowboy.
Raw Meat Cowboy. Love that guy. Love his beard.
Yeah, so this is just the sales for Japan, North America, European, Australia. The number one Amiibo being sold in all three, aside from Australia, is Link. Link and then Kirby, Mario, Pikachu are kind of in the top three. Whereas in Australia, the highest sold one is Mario, as opposed to Link, which is kind of interesting. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting that just like the three is just all about the Link, and then Mario's got it for Australia. So kind of weird.
World has got Link fever. For Australia.
Link is one of the cooler Nintendo characters. I'll give it that.
Definitely
But
had a lot of games.
But Mario's the throwback. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, Amiibo craziness. I know that apparently there was an article that just came out that Nintendo was not expecting the reselling to be so crazy with Amiibo. As it's become crazy with printers, a lot of the stuff Nintendo makes.
As you sit with 4+ Lucarios.
You gotta be careful sometimes. You can't.
Well, it's true too nowadays with like orders and how multiple retailers have been dropping orders when you order something. Like, we don't actually have any.
Best Buy was horrible with this thing.
I heard about that.
Yeah, they were like, days after pre-orders open, people got the pre-orders and they were canceling orders. And then the day before this thing's street date, they started just canceling a bunch of more orders. It's like, did you guys just get the notice that you guys weren't going to have enough stock to supply this thing the day before it came out, or what?
Right. So, back to what I was saying earlier about people saying you're never going to get this system, don't even try. I do feel bad for the people that placed orders well in advance and had their orders canceled. That always sucks. That's just
Especially
terrible.
given such a small population actually got one locked
right,
down.
The actual limited quantity of the product, that is kind of...
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And Friday, the day this thing was street dated, Target.com opened up orders for this, basically kind of like pre-orders for this thing again. That was the first time that Target.com opened up orders for the Zelda Majora's Mask Edition. And, they just got a flood of orders. Apparently way too many than they could handle, because a bunch of people got their orders canceled and they were reimbursed $15 Target gift cards for their troubles.
Wee.
Yeah. So it sucks. For those people that do want this, I do hope that Nintendo restocks it, because if you're a Zelda fan and you want a new Nintendo 3DS, I think you deserve to have one.
That's true, too.
I agree. It's such a cool model.
It is, or even if they send out another one that it's not such a limited run. I don't know, change color scheme maybe or something. Just, give the people, what they want,
Maybe
I guess.
not the solid gold, maybe like a Link green or something.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it also kind of kick in the teeth the people that are trying to resell theirs, kind of bring them back down to, like, hey,
That's
it's
true,
not
too,
cool, man.
for everyone trying to sell them for the $400, $500 range.
Should have one, like
Shouldn't
a
get-
different,
right.
a different model for the different, like, races or something. Like
Right,
You got your
I know.
Zora, Gerudo version.
It's almost trying to profit off of other people's misfortune, which I guess to each their own. Scalping is just a nasty business, though.
Capitalism, boys.
Capitalism.
So, since the last video, I have had some subscribers come in. I can't see all the subscribers because YouTube has an option to hide your status as a subscriber. So you can see, you can see your subscriber number, but you can't see, if they choose this option, you can't see those people, their username and stuff.
Oh.
But I did want to give a shout out to the people that I can see that subscribe to my channel. First up, 8-Bit Kid, Tyler Ebel, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name and you watch this video. Mason Vang.
Oh.
You got no Mason.
It's amazing.
Dying Breed. He's very elite in his name. He's got a 1 in there. He's got 2 3s. He has the E's.
You know it's the real deal.
And last, Brandon C. or Cia. Thank
Welcome
you.
to the channel, boys.
Yeah,
Thanks for
welcome.
subscribing,
Hopefully you'll
guys.
stick around. So that's all I got. Anything else before I close out?
I think I'm good.
Went over everything I got.
Joe, you can find him on Twitter at Mr_dude_person. Dalton, if you want to talk to this guy, I'm sure he's got more than plenty of time to talk to you if you want to get a full-blown conversation.
You want to talk? I'm ready to talk.
You can find Dalton on Twitter at @DropThePan.
That's where you'll find me.
@DropThePan. And I'm Dutton. My handle on Twitter is Nestor64. Or, yeah, @Nestor64. My display name is Nestor.
There you go. So definitely, if you wanna chat us up, feel free.
Yep,
We are very sociable.
we got the time, yes. On that, thanks for watching. This has been Warpcast, Episode 3. Catch you later.
Together.